What it is, y'all, it is your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back at you today with more Danmachi. Now, today we're going to be talking about Grand War, and we're talking about Boss 1-3. And Boss 1-3 is actually going to use the exact same team, I mean the exact same team, to the letter that we used for Boss 1-1. Alright, so literally just same equipment, same everything. Now, you may have used poison resistance anklets on the original 1-1, but you won't need them here. Though, to be fair, if you do have someone that's a plant killer, definitely throw them on the team. But for me, in making this simple, I'm literally just going to use the same team. Pretty straightforward stuff. Now, the one thing to remember about Aisha is every time you use her skill 3, you're going to have rebuff strength. I went through about half of a run where I completely had forgotten about that. So make sure you take advantage of that and you build your teams accordingly. Okay? Now, her second skill removes strength buffs, but this unit does not actually buff itself, so we don't need to use that. So we're literally just going to go out of the gate in turn 2 and go into skill 3 and just start hitting hard. Boom. Alright. Now, I will warn you, this is going to be a long, long fight. So, I'm not going to bore you guys with too much of the details. I'm just going to kind of move along here. And, to be fair as well, turns 4, I believe, and then 9, I think. And then, a little bit later after that, this thing will SA. So, or sorry, the end of turn 3, beginning of turn 4. Boom. Now, one thing I will warn you, make sure you're using icons in this fight because this unit will debuff you, and then if you don't have the icons on, you might miss it. You might not realize that you haven't had buffs for quite a bit of time. I'm going to go and do Geo Surge one more time. We're going to do skill 2 with Haruhime, or I'm sorry, with Winnie, and we're going to go ahead and back to do skill 3 with Haruhime. And basically at this point we're just going to spam these events. Now, my ultimate goal is to do a double SA with Yuri and Aisha. And the reason I want to do that is because Yuri has a really good physical resistance debuff that he can put on the opponent, and that's going to help us move a little faster through this event. But for now, let's just go ahead and keep going. Now, in all fairness, this is going to be a long, long, long fight. In my testing, this did turn out to be, I want to say, about 20-ish turns, because once again, these units are fairly weak. That said, you're not looking for an S-clear, you're just looking for a clear. It's not the end of the world if this takes a bit of time. Alright. So there's Aisha doing her thing. Now, obviously, kind of the goal here is for Aisha to do big hit and then rebuff, big hit, then rebuff. Now, the nice part is after SA, she doesn't have to rebuff. She can go in and do her big hit and then rebuff after that. So, kind of nice. Alright. Here's another SA. And I think, is this the one that removes buffs? It might be. No. Alright. So we're still good. So I'm going to go and do Geo Surge, Tribe Alpha, and we're just going to basically keep spamming these attacks. The only exception is going to be now we're going to do single SAs with Aisha. And the reason being is because Aisha, simply put, she's just going to, that's how she produces damage. Basically, you're going to do skill 3, then skill 1, then skill 3, and then skill 1. Until you have an SA, then you do skill 1, SA, skill 3, skill 1. As I said at the beginning, the main reason for that is because she's going to remove her buffs. So, be on the lookout for that. Did I just do this with our buffs removed? I may have done it. I may have made a fatal mistake here. Oh, that's going to cost. Let's see what happened. Nope, our buffs are still in place. That's good. That's good. It took me a moment, too. Looks like no one else has their buffs, so I'm going to just basically have to go on a big rebuff spree. And notice that buffs are removed again, so we just got to be careful about that. Let's go ahead and rebuff. I didn't rebuff Winnie. I'm going to have to rebuff her next turn. But once again, her being AoE, this is not the not really going to be her shining moment. Also notice that despite the fact this unit is just SAing left, right, and center, and is attacking, we're not really hurting. And I'm not really using any major defensive assists. So if you choose to go that route, you're going to be just fine. All right. I'm going to go ahead and do that one more time. Boom. Boom. Okay. And remember, her essay does not remove her strength buff. It's just her third skill that removes her strength buff. So plan accordingly. Boom. All right. So we're on turn 11, and he's got about half life. That's about where we want to be. Turn 9 is the S clear, but once again, this is not an S clear team. Check your expectations at the door. Let's see. Do we still have... nope. So I don't actually have the buffs back. So I'm going to have to go do the buffs again. And let's go. Boom. As you can see, this is literally just at this point pretty much an autopilot mission. Now, I wouldn't auto it because once again, when your buffs run out, your autos aren't going to redo the buffs. So being a little not skeptical, I would say, but most definitely there's food for thought here. All right. Boom, boom. Almost done. All right. So we've got an essay with Aisha coming up. You're essaying pretty often, dude. I need you to chill. I mean, it's not like it hurts. It's just doesn't feel good. All right. So strength and earth attribute damage are up. And no one else has that. So we're going to have to go rebuff that again. Very annoying. Very, very annoying. All right. SA. And here we go. So keep a lookout on your buffs, guys. That actually is going to make a huge difference in your overall damage. If the DPS on your team or DPSs don't have buffs, don't move through the rock. Should seem pretty straightforward, but it is what it is. All right. Bam. So strength and earth are still up. I'm going to go and do Geosurge. It's going to kind of ruin that situation. But as stated, pretty straightforward. At this point, it is kind of like I said, autopilot. It is just kind of a mind-numbing run. Not exciting, not new, not different. Just same thing over and over and over again. All right. We'll be good there. Yeah, let's go. Bam. Now, as the event comes close, I just want you to pay close attention to how much damage this unit is doing. The answer is almost none. A laughable sum, if even that. Boom. Go, girl. And we're not getting the kind of damage I'd really like to get out of her. But once again, she's not a plant killer and she's not max limit broken. So really got to check my expectations on her. Let's see. Strength of fire and earth. Yep, we're good there. Here we go. Bam. All right. Let's keep going. One more essay. And I happen to realize I don't know if the strength buffs are actually on here or if they're going to get removed. Let's find out. I think Yeah, we had no strength buffs. So I needed to save that SA. That's one of the things you got to be careful of. Could easily make that mistake, and that's going to cost me a couple of turns. It's going to cost me a couple of turns, sadly. Alright. We're going to buff. Next turn is going to be an SA, so we should be good in that front. And it is worth noting that I could definitely use Winnie for some buff replication. I haven't been, but I'm definitely going to use her here just because, you know, we need that. Alright, I'm going to do a base attack. That is one of the things that I can recommend. You know, make sure you're using your resources wisely. In this case, I was not. And as you'll note, it is going to cost me. But our opponent's almost dead. So we definitely were successful, at least in that regard. And once again, if you have max limit broken units and all that, it will be much better, much faster. The main thing to take away here is that you have to pay attention to your buffs. And if you're not using icons, which if I turn icons off and turn icons on, that's what I'm talking about, icons. You got to use that to keep track of everything. Because if you don't, you are going to run into some problems. All right. Go, girl. And we're going to SA now. And that's that, guys. That is 1-3. I know this is a long one, but once again, if you have maximum broken units, you can make this a lot faster, plus using some plant killers. But I just wanted to cheese it and be a little bit lazy with our 1-1 team. Proof you can do it even with a very, very, very weak team. So good luck to you on Boss 1-3. Boss 1-3 is... Dude, would you die already? Come on. I was pretty certain. Oh, you know what? Didn't have a strength buff on that one. Didn't have a strength buff on that attack. That's the problem. Gotta watch those things, guys. Gotta watch those things. But that is it. That's the video. Good luck to you. 1-3 is super easy. I'll be back at you guys in the morning with Boss 1-4, and we'll move on from there. Have a great night, guys. See you tomorrow.